Hello everybody, and welcome to this Excel 365 tutorial where I'm going to go over an example of a lambda function, which is a user-defined function that really simplifies working with long formulas that have multiple functions and multiple inputs into those functions. So in the last video I made this formula here to shuffle a deck of cards with just this formula here, and I'm going to add a little bit to it to make it a little bit more complicated, and then we're going to throw it into a lambda to see how that works. So I want to make this shuffle multiple decks of cards and have that be user defined. So the user could say make this 2 decks of cards or 8 decks of cards or whatever they want, and then allow them to randomize that and have for whatever they're testing, maybe they want to simulate a certain blackjack condition or something like that. Okay, so let's see how we want to do that. I'm going to do index of deck, which is that range over on the left side, and then the index values. So I want to do the mod of sequence, and I'll put 104 as a placeholder value for 2 decks, and then the comma is the divisor, so 52. There's 52 cards in one deck, and close parenthesis on the mod and close parenthesis on the index. But this would count up to 51, and then 52 would be a 0. So I want to actually subtract 1 here and add 1 on the outside of the mod. So it starts with 1 and ends with 52. This looks correct. We have 2 decks of cards on top of each other now. So if we did 156, this should be 3 decks of cards. Yeah, now we can use this in our other formula that we had set up to have a variable amount of decks used. So I'm going to just take this formula here, and I'm going to go into here, and where we referenced deck before, I'm going to replace that and hit enter. Okay, this RANDARRAY needs to go up to match this 156. So now we should have, yes, randomized 3 decks of cards mixing. So now let's take this into the lambda function and let the user define how many decks of cards. And you can imagine why this wouldn't be convenient. The user would have to go and figure out, first of all, what is the multiple of the number of decks that they want to do to get times 52. And then they'd have to change it in 2 separate places. But what if they came and changed it in the wrong spot? They're going to completely ruin this formula here. So ideal candidate for a lambda function. We're just going to take this formula, copy it to the clipboard, and I'm going to go into formulas, name manager, and we're going to create a new one. And we'll just call this shuffle or something. Okay, so oops, I just want to call that shuffle. We're going to start out with the lambda function. And the way the lambda function works is the first arguments of the lambda function are the variables that you want the user to pull in. So for example, like a VLOOKUP, you have the lookup value, comma, the lookup array, comma, the column you want to pull in. So we could have 1 variable that we want to pull in, 2, 3, however many we want. So we're going to need n. We can call it anything, but I'm going to call it n for the number of decks. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. And I'm going to go straight into this formula we already wrote and remove that extra equal sign. So now where we had the 156, I'm just going to put n times 52. And again over here, n times 52, and I'm going to hit OK. I need to close the lambda parentheses and hit OK. And now let's try it out. So we got shuffle equals shuffle, and let's do 1 deck. Okay, so we have 52 cards here. Perfect. And we'll do shuffle 2 decks. 2. And we got 104 cards shuffled there. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments and give it a try. Have a good one.